Welcome to Bard Tech Talk. I'm Maury Tiernan. Today's topic is operation and commissioning of Bard's modulating classroom ventilator for the WA, WH, and WSA and CH units. Specifically, this video covers the CRV-V5A in a C36H. The unit components you will be working with are the low voltage terminal block, CRV control board, the blade damper position decal, and the damper blade airflow chart found in the respective CRV install manual. WA and WH Bard units have single-stage compressors, while WSA and CH units are two-stage compressors. The same modulating CRV-V5A is used in all four units. The control board is set differently based on blower CFM and stages of compressor. Another detail about the control board setting is the difference between a CO2 sensor controlled ventilation process and a basic unit controlled ventilation process. The amount of ventilation air supplied by ventilation devices is dependent on four factors: return air duct static pressure drop, supply air duct static pressure drop, indoor blower motor speed, and damper blade open position setting. Refer to the appropriate CFM graphs of your specific vent device to determine the blade setting necessary to achieve the ventilation air required for each operating mode. You will need a small eyeglass type screwdriver or one similar to this one to adjust the pot switches. Separate jumper wires or a jumper set of wires like this will be required. The pot switches on the board have built-in stops that are delicate. Do not force against the stops or twist aggressively. The potentiometer marked PP is for pre-purge or pre-occupancy required by Title 24. Pot OCC is the occupied setting and must be turned off if a CO2 sensor is used. Pot Y1 or Y2 setting is for single-stage compressor units with a brass jumper. Pot Y1 and Y2 setting is for two-stage compressor units without a brass jumper. Blower CFM is different between stages and affects ventilation CFM. The pre-purge timer factory default is shipped on 0, and the small jumper must be placed on the correct pins to set the pre-purge pot switch. California Title 24 requires 3 complete air changes within 60 minutes. The pre-purge timer jumper would be set and left on 60 when setting the pre-purge pot switch. All potentiometers are set to a closed damper from Bard. Turning counterclockwise will close the blade. Clockwise will open the blade. The pot switches are fast acting and again very delicate. You will start with the basic non-CO2 sensor controlled method. Set the OCC pot first. Use the CFM graph charts for this unit's vent device found in the install manual 2100-754 on pages 19 through 21 and locate your specific unit model number. For 30 students, 450 CFM and this unit, adjust the OCC pot to move the damper to position 6 on the decal inside the unit behind the filter. The damper travel time to position 6 is about 65 seconds. With power to the unit, jumper wire R to A on the low voltage terminal block. The blower will energize on low CFM mode. Turn the OCC pot clockwise to open the damper. When set, remove the jumper wire from R to A to test and demonstrate the damper spring load closes and the indoor motor stops. Next, on the optional pre-purge pot, on the pre-purge timer, move the little black jumper from 0 to 60 first, before energizing the board. jumper wire R to A and turn pot PP clockwise until the damper stops at 6 on the decal. To get 3 complete pre-purge air changes in 60 minutes in a California classroom, the damper needs to be set for 450 CFM. This also means that A must be energized 1 hour prior when pre-purge is used. Then PP and OCC work together. Remove the jumper wire from R to A. If you do not want a pre-purge prior to your occupied setting, move the little black pre-purge jumper back to 0. On a 2-stage compressor unit, jumper wire R to A and Y1. And turn Y1 pot switch clockwise for the damper to number 7 on the decal. This compensates for the first stage blower CFM being lower than second stage blower CFM. This is by design. On a 2-stage compressor unit, there should be no brass jumper between Y1 and Y2. Jumper wire R to A, Y1 and Y2. Turn Y2 pot switch clockwise for the damper to position 6. This will be 450 CFM per the graph. This basic non-CO2 sensor control method has 2 choices also. Do you have a stat or EMS with a separate function to control ventilation independently of heating or cooling? If so, then energize terminal A on the low voltage terminal block. If you want the damper to open when G is energized, do not energize A on the low voltage terminal block. Instead, add a permanent jumper from G to A. And also move the red-white wire from the COM to NC on the separate blower interlock relay next to the control board in the electrical panel. For a basic non-CO2 sensor single-stage compressor unit, set the occupied OCC and pre-purge PP pots the same as 2-stage compressor unit as previously discussed. On this single-stage compressor unit, there should be a brass jumper installed between Y1 and Y2 on the bar terminal block. Jumper R to A and either Y1 or Y2 because the brass jumper is installed, and set the Y2 pot switch to your desired damper setting. For humid climates, BARD offers a balanced climate option. Contact your BARD territory sales manager for more details on how to set the vent device for balanced climate mode. There are 2 choices with a CO2 sensor control method with this classroom ventilator. Fixed position damper, open and closed when A is energized, while the other method, the damper will modulate with a 2 to 10 volt DC signal. We suggest you contact your BARD territory sales manager to assist you with a wiring drawing and a setup details for the CO2 sensor method. To ensure damper position is accurate for your system, the ventilation may be verified using an airflow hood or a handheld CO2 sensor when the classroom is normally occupied. That's the basics on the BARD CRV-V5A classroom ventilator in a single and 2-stage compressor unit. Hope you find this helpful. See you next time we talk BARD Tech.